since you just saw the Rams
Yes.
and you just saw how they play
Yes.
and you just saw that incredible interception in the last seconds of the game.
Yeah.
Do you believe that the Rams have what it takes to keep going, or do you believe this was do we believe that this?
I do. I certainly do. That you could
not everybody can win though.
You could
Rich.
make the case that this offense is better than the one that won the Super Bowl. You know, when they had Sony Michel and C.J. Anderson at running back. Kyron Williams is one of the best productive from scrimmage, catching it, running backs, bell cow, blocks on third down, picks up blitzes. He's all of that in a biscuit. And I understand, you know, with Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham and the receiving core that they have there, Puka Nacua is an absolute revelation. And Stafford is just as good now as he was then. The defense is far less veteran. Aaron Donald is not there. They have a bunch of young studs, first and second year players that are terrific. And they have won in many different styles. They've won a boat race. A track meet game, a 44-42 victory over the Bills. And since then, though the offense is completely dried up, but they've won 3 in a row since then for a 5-game win streak because their defense has shown up, having given up 6 to the 49ers and then 9 to the Jets and the Cardinals after that. You can easily do the math right there. And that's, 24 points that they've given up since giving up 42. So they've won in many different manners of football. And now comes a home date against maybe Washington and Jaden Daniels, maybe Green Bay, which was a team that beat them in week 5 to send them to 1-4. And after that, though, they've gotten healthier and they're a totally different team, having won 9 of 11. But they can catch fire. They aren't going to Detroit to start the playoff season and then losing to a team that felt destined. They're home. And I absolutely think they can put together a run. I think they should, if they face Washington, beat Washington. That is a team that is in their first opportunity in the playoffs. The Rams are far more tested when it comes to that. And then if they win that, they might wind up in Philadelphia, or if somehow the Packers beat Philly and maybe the Vikings or the Lions beat the Bucks, it's possible the Rams host a second game at home. Just what happened to the Lions last year as the 3 seed. They wound up hosting another game in the divisional round and then made it to the NFC Championship game. It's entirely possible that the Rams wind up in Detroit for an NFC Championship game, which would raise the stakes from last year's wild card and this year's season opener on a Sunday night to a totally different level. So that's what I just don't know if the offense is sputtering and will have problems in the playoffs, or they are just playing, defensive teams like the Niners and the Cardinals who know them, or the Jets who are, when they are showing up, waking up competent, do have some defensive players that can beat a Los Angeles team that's playing in 10-degree weather in an early window game traveling across the country. I don't know which one it is, but the fact that we're going to see it in the playoffs is exciting.
Rich, you mentioned Aaron Donald and the loss of Aaron Donald. Yes. Someone, I don't want to name names, but someone on CBS Sports at the beginning of the season, rhymes with Shmamey, named Jared Verse as Defensive Rookie of the Year. And my point on referencing what the person whose name rhymes with Shmamey said is that, yes, they lost Aaron Donald, but they made some very, very good draft decisions on defense.
Well, that's less need for you.
Well, I mean,
great decisions.
Right. It's the 2 guys from Florida State, too. It's Braden Fisk as well. Mm-hmm. They are young and they are really fast, and that defense is playing particularly well lately.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.